Yo, what's up, guys, and welcome back to the What's Good podcast. Today we've got a very special guest. We've got Ashley Rak Su. Let's go. The first question I want to ask you is, how do you like your name to be, said? Is it actually from Rak Su, or?
I don't know. What do you think? What's got a better ring to it?
I would say from.
From.
Yeah, because I feel like in these boxing events, they have a tendency to get people's names wrong. You know FaZe Temper?
Yeah.
They keep calling him FaZe. And FaZe is an entire clan and an entire massive company, and they just call him FaZe.
Do you know what? And sometimes people just call me Rak Su, but I feel like it's such a big part of my identity anyway. But I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Okay, sick.
But it's not because it is multiple of you. So when they call you Rak Su, it's like
everyone in the ring together.
Yeah. So it should be Ashley from Rak Su. That's a lot to put on shorts as well.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. But welcome. We're excited to have you on today.
Thank you, man. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
You have just beaten Kenny.
Yeah.
In your fight.
Yeah.
We did film a podcast last week, but we specifically didn't talk about your fight because we knew you were coming on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Firstly, how was it?
It was good, man. It was a lot of fun. I'm appreciative to Kenny for giving me the chance to actually get in the ring with him. And the whole lead up to it was just really funny for me because everybody told me I was getting knocked out in round two.
Yeah.
That was the general consensus.
Yeah.
And I was obviously deep down, I'm I don't understand why everybody thinks this is going to happen, but okay. And then even on the night as well, I remember being backstage, and again, I was aware I was going to get booed because Kenny is who Kenny is.
Yeah.
But I wasn't prepared for how loud it was going to be because the moment I stepped up onto the walk, it was just 4,000.
Really?
I was oh my word, this is a lot.
It's different, you see it,
Yeah, definitely. I felt like a villain. But it was good. It was funny. There was even some people as I'm walking down, and they'll put their hands out to high five you.
Yeah.
And then some of them would take their hands away and flip me off. No. And I'm
it's like being bullied as a kid, man. It's like school, playground again.
Literally. And I'm angry at myself for falling for it. I'm
Do you think the boos help you at all? Because I know some people
thrive off being the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I thrive off being the villain, but it just made it a more fun experience. It's just something else that happened that ordinarily I'm not used to and I've never experienced before. So I was this is just actually really cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You never portray yourself as a villain anyway. In the press conferences and everything, you're not the one being I'm going to just I straight away think, KSI Nightmare kind of. I'm going to destroy you in the ring. You're confident, but you don't turn into I can do what I want. I'm the best. I'm the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I probably need to add a little bit more of that.
Yeah, now you can, you can start adding that now.
Yeah, I've got to find something else because even everything with me and Kenya have been quite respectful.
Yeah. So
even at the weigh-in, when he said he was going to knock me out in 10 seconds, I was why are you being so out of character? So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I will borrow some of KSI's mannerisms going forwards. But
no, I'm saying don't, bro. Don't.
You can take a little bit, but don't go full KSI. Don't go full Nightmare.
Yeah, it's too much, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing was it was just so much fun. Even before the first bell went, from the whole week, including the ring walk, the whole thing was just so much fun.
Yeah, that's sick, man.
Well, obviously you had the fight against Anthony Taylor.
Yeah.
And within the first 2 seconds. But the maddest part is obviously, you got up and I remember I'm sat just the other side of the ring. I remember looking at you and you go, wow. But then, you carried on and it was a fight after that.
It was.
Can I swear?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that was very much a shit got real.
Yeah. So the one I always forget though is you fought Big Tobes. That one kind of went under the radar a little bit.
Yeah.
And how did that come? Why? Where did that come from?
So my journey into boxing has been, I've always loved sport. So played football, played non-league football all the way up until Rak Su won the X Factor. In fact, no, even after the X Factor, I still went back and played non-league football, and then we got too busy, so I couldn't do it anymore. Always played basketball, just played a lot of sport, and besides what it does for me physically, mentally, it always played a really important role in my life as well.
Yeah.
Just keeping me grounded, balanced, and sometimes distracted. And so in lockdown, I found it a little bit difficult at times when there was just no sport to play, and I was just like, what am I meant to do with myself? Obviously we all went through that period, right, where you can't go anywhere, and like the rules are like you can be outside for an hour, and it's like what am I meant to do here? So I think I was itching to find something else that was new. And then I have this, like, there's this little thing inside of me which is super childish and somewhat stupid. So there was me, Miles, my coach Luke, and Jamal were all around Miles's house watching the Anthony Joshua fight.
Yeah.
And obviously I must have got excited watching it. And I was like, look, if I start now, do you think I can make the Olympics? Like, is it possible? And everyone kind of laughed at me. And I was like, no, guys, hear me out. Like, I think it's possible.
Yeah.
So I was like, Luke, will you train me? And let's just see. Because I'd not really tried boxing before. And I was like, who knows? I might have this talent.
Yeah.
But like, it's just out of this world. Turns out I didn't have that talent. But we kind of started. And so a few months after that, I did like a white collar fight in like my local leisure centre where no one knows what they're doing, head guards, big gloves, and you just slap each other for a bit. And then after that, I saw Bouncer starting the Wicked and Bad platform thing. So I was like, look, if you're looking for fighters, I'm game. I want to get involved. And so that's how the Big Tobes thing came about.
Okay. There was no like bad blood between you two. It was more just like, if you want to fight, I'll fight.
Yeah, 100%. There was no bad blood. I think I maybe had like a little chip on my shoulder because I think with Rak Su coming from the X Factor, I think there was like a bit of a perception of us within certain circles that maybe I didn't like. So I think my actual message to Bouncer was, if there's any rappers that want to fight, I'll fight any of them, because I just like wanted to fight somebody that everybody thought like would walk through me type thing because of the difference in personas. So yeah, it was nothing against Tobes in particular. I actually really like him. It was just, I just wanted to fight a rapper in front of that audience on that platform, basically.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Sick.
And then so we had Anthony Joshua, Big Tobes, and then Kenny. And yeah, now you've beaten Kenny, you're in a pretty good place to kind of fight who you want.
Yeah,
that's good, man. You got a bit more bargaining power with man.
for sure. The fight that I want, like, I mean, okay, obviously there's like the fight that I'm sure we'd all want would be to fight KSI, right? But that's not going to happen, so let's just remove that for now. Unless JJ, you're feeling generous and you want to fight, let's do it. But
he might lose a couple and be down bad, you know. he might have to fight you to, you know.
The fact that he would have to lose a couple and be down bad to consider fighting me, like, that quite the set.
That's what Misfits is all about, though, because like if you're not necessarily like in the super like tight knit circle of like YouTube stuff, like your name isn't there, right? So that's why with the Kenny fight, like everyone was saying he was the favorite because of that reason.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
His
call him out for Watford.
Yeah,
I mean,
I already beat up Kenny.
I was saying, like, I used that with FaZe temper. I was like, look, you fought two people from Watford, you might as well make it a hat trick.
He's probably saying, where's Watford?
So KSI next, and then Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, I mean, it works for sure. Anthony Joshua will flatter me, but hey, yeah, I was actually, I'd love to fight Salt Pappy.
Sick,
that's the one. I'm hoping end of the year, if everything was to go right, if I was to have one or two more fights and they went the way that I wanted them to go, then maybe for the end of the year to fight Salt Pappy.
That'd be sick, man.
Yeah, that's like I think I love him as a person. I think he's really fun. So I think the whole build up will be fun. In the ring, obviously he's really good, and I think it would be a good challenge. Yeah. But I think I could beat him. So
well, that's good, man. You seem like you've got the right mentality that you want to shoot high, you know, and start proving yourself, which you definitely did against Kenny,
for sure, man. I think. Look, obviously, if you're a professional boxer and you're trying to build like a career over like a 15-year period, I get you have to be careful and you have to plot it. But with where we are at the moment, I'm very much like, I guess in all areas of life, where we should try and live in the present and live in the moment that we're in. Yeah. And there's no guarantees. So I'm like, I could fight somebody who is meant to be an easy fight. And lose. So if that's on the table, you might as well just take the hardest challenge there is. And
I agree with that. Yeah,
go for it.
I think like in boxing, I think that's something that lets the sport down a little bit. Like you have someone who's a big name, you're excited to see, like maybe like even like Vidal, and you got to wait like 15 fights for them to start testing themselves.
Bro, with Usyk, Fury, it's like, are you two gonna fight or not? There's so many examples of it.
Whereas in Misfits, they're putting people together that could one of them could lose, and will lose.
Sometimes. This is what I was gonna say. I respect about you and Kenny. Like Kenny, DK Money was a bit of an easy fight, but
he was due an easy one. Like,
other fights were not easy. Yeah, and then choosing you was not easy.
I mean, he thought it was.
Yeah, I think he did.
See, I literally put in the chat like, I'm not gonna lie, I fell into the Kenny trap, and I was like, I think Kenny will win, but it's definitely not easy. Because after the Anthony Taylor fight, I was like, you will fight.
You came back.
You will like, and that's Anthony Taylor's been fighting for. Like,
well, fair play for taking that fight as well with him, because obviously he's
that's what I'm saying. It's like
that's that. Also that childish, stupid.
Yeah.
That's
probably what gives you the drive, though. That's probably what makes you like fight like this, is because you know what your like actual skill level is, so you can shoot higher, but then also you'll match it because you got the drive. Whereas,
I think so.
That's why we can't fight. I'm like, I'm gonna lose, man.
Watching this video, neither can I. But but yeah, I think there definitely are some people that are plotting a path and taking fights that make sense.
Yeah.
But then there are other people that will just get in there and just fight anyone, and that's kind of where I am. There's not anybody, unless you've had professional boxing fights. Anyone within like any musician, any YouTuber, any influencer, there's no one who I wouldn't be like, yeah, do you know what, I'll fight, like whatever favour.
That's what I mean. The fact that you came out and you were like, yeah, you were going to do the rematch with Kenny.
Yeah.
You said about that, and then you were like, then Salt Pappy.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you're a brave man. Like, like most people would have gone like, yeah, I'll see who's about, and then probably pick someone that I know for a fact it's an easy fight, whatever. Yeah. Whereas you're like, yeah, I'll go for someone who is considered one of the best ones.
Yeah, man. I think we don't know what's going to happen. There's no guarantees. So why not just go for it? But I definitely think from Daly, maybe more so even than Kenny, there was just a complete underestimation and just like I actually think really bad analysis. If I'm being completely honest.
Like, well, even you heard the commentators say, right? They were saying that Daly said to Kenny that you've got this, right?
Well,
he was
you could hear it in between rounds.
Yeah,
he keeps saying like, I think it was after round 2. He was like, "You've won both rounds so far. Keep going. Just keep up the same."
And that is really hard to hear in 4 rounds, isn't it? Because like even at round 2, anything can happen in the next 2.
No, definitely. And I actually tweeted like just a couple of days after the fight because like I felt like Kenny was getting battered like in a lot of the comment sections, and so I said like I think people need to be a little bit lighter on Kenny here because it's not his fault that he was effectively lied to in between rounds. Like if
he
Kenny
thinks
was
he's winning, why would he?
Do you know what I mean? Like he should have been told in the 4th round, you are behind, you need to go for a knockout. Like, but he was told actually you're winning the fight. So yeah, he was gun shy, but he wasn't told that he needed to be desperate because he'd lost the rounds before. So I kind of like feel a bit sorry for him in that perspective.
Yeah.
And then very early, within about 20 seconds of a fight, I could also tell what their game plan was. Okay. And I was like, you've just planned for the wrong person here. Like I think they probably, in the Anthony Taylor fight, I got back to the corner in between the rounds and I asked my coach, did I go down in that round?
Yeah. Really? Really?
So like my head just wasn't there. Like I kind of fought that fight on just instinct and just get through it. Yeah. So they've obviously looked at it and been like, okay, that's who he is as a fighter. But it was like, no, that was just, I was hurt.
Yeah,
and just
out of it.
Yeah.
Didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah. Can I say something, by the way? In the 2nd round, I think, when Daly's chatting to Kenny, right? This is mental. There's a song playing. I think you noticed this. Did you notice?
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's crazy.
So there's an Akon song and it goes, I hear you creeping. You know that song?
Yeah.
Shadow. And Daly says creeping as Akon says creeping. It's mental.
What?
Honestly,
it links up.
So he's saying to Kenny, like, smart pressure, just creeping. And at the same time, Akon singing it, and they sync like perfectly. Honestly, it is the most bonkers
I was watching
thing.
I'm like, is he starting to sing this? Right?
Yeah, it's mad. Like, what are the odds of that even happening?
I'm glad you noticed that because I thought I was being weird bringing it up. But I'm glad.
It was like, that's a mind blowing moment. That is crazy.
Yeah, but in the 4th round, you seem to get just a point in that round where you started swinging huge, and you kind of felt really confident at that point. I'm guessing.
No, my coach told me to.
Oh, okay.
we had like a bit of a code word, and it was like he was basically saying if it's anywhere near tight or just to like leave no doubt whatsoever, basically just empty the tank. And just leave it in there.
Well, you were doing that.
Did you actually have a code word?
Yeah.
Well, don't tell us that.
I can't tell you.
for next
Oh, you can change it for next time.
some fan in the crowd's gonna start shouting. You were going for this, man. I think he couldn't do anything there, right? Because he can't throw back like that. So he has to just either turn it on himself or just kind of accept it. He just kind of accepts it.
I mean, there are things that you can do. Like me watching it back, like I left myself open for a lot, but I guess you just have to have, you got to have the skill set and the balls to execute it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Salt Pappy, for example, is watching this fight and he's probably like, yeah, I could do that there. 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 Like it wasn't like.
But hindsight's easy, isn't it? Like,
do you know what I mean? But it wasn't like the cleanest performance from me. Like it definitely, if I was in there with somebody who was maybe a bit more ballsy, like I could have definitely been counted on some of these shots.
Yeah, you were swinging heavy, right?
Yeah.
Hear me out, right? I think Kenny looks like the best boxer in the whole of Misfits.
He does look really good.
Not as in he is the best boxer,
But yeah, he looks the part, sure.
he looks the part, and like the way he's always like he's calm and like
Yeah.
because it was in the first round as well, right? He puts his gloves down, like kind of shows off a little bit,
Yeah.
and then you just punch him. And I was like, but for the second before you punched him, I was like, yo, he looks sick.
Yeah.
Then he got punched, and I was like,
Yeah.
don't do this.
And I could kind of, there are moments in it where I'm kind of doing this and I'm like just standing there with my hands up and I can see him doing lots of feinting. But I'm like, are you going to punch at any point?
Oh yeah, like there was no doubt, like that. I think online people were kind of worried that because one of the results was
Yeah. Like the second
was it
judge gave it to Kenny.
Gave it to Kenny, yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard that, I thought, surely not.
Not again.
Yeah.
Not again. Yeah.
Like, but the other one was like, no, I don't think Kenny won that. This one was like, no, Kenny lost.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it could be.
Yeah.
Could go this, could go. It wasn't. It was. Yeah, you won this one.
In a very weird way, that's probably good for him as well because I don't think like he could have taken another like.
If he had, yeah.
but I think we'll see more from him as well. I think maybe this fight, you think it's just him getting the game plan wrong, or is maybe his coach is getting the game plan wrong?
Yeah, 100%. They were basically just like expecting me to walk forward slowly.
I was like, yo, Kenny's sick. Kenny, no, Kenny, don't do that, bro. What are you doing?
I think they were like expecting me to walk forward really slowly in a straight line, and so the game plan was like jab, 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 and then when I walk forwards, sting me with a backhand, and that was it. Like he wasn't looking for anything else, so it just kind of put me in a scenario where I was like, okay, well, if I make sure that he can't hit me with his backhand, he's not even trying to throw anything else, so I'm okay. So yeah, I don't necessarily put that on Kenny because it just feels like it's almost like someone told him, trust me, he's going to walk forwards into your right hand at some stage and you will catch him.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a plan B, C, D or E. So I think, and it's a weird thing to hope on his behalf, but like if we were to fight again, it would have the potential would be there for it to be a completely different fight.
Yeah. And I guess like the thing with Misfits and these like influencer boxing like areas, like there's not too much history to go on each fighter. Like, you know, in pro boxing you'll see like, you know, 15 fights, you can see their style, whereas this you're pretty much guessing. And if you didn't fight necessarily to your top ability in the Anthony Taylor one, then they're going to read into that, but then that's not you anymore. You know, you've changed. So
100%, and we're all novices.
Yeah,
that's the other thing as well. So it's like in anything in life, like the learning curve when you're a novice is always going to be so steep. So it's I've still, like, up until this point, I've never landed a clean uppercut. Like in all of my sparring, I've just not landed a clean uppercut. And it's like, I'm just so new to boxing that there's probably loads of things that I just can't do and I just don't know. But then the reality is if I fight in 3 months' time,
you might have that.
Something's going to be added to it. So you might watch all of the stuff that I've done beforehand and there's going to be things that I just have done really badly, but then that will get cleaned up. So that's, it is, everyone's a complete unknown quantity. Even seeing KSI versus Temper, I was not ready for KSI to look like that. I was like, oh my word, because I wasn't impressed with his performance against Swarms or Pineda.
I think it was quite hard.
Like, and that's not necessarily like JJ's fault because I feel like Swarms and Pineda, it is what it is. But against Temper, he looked like a completely different animal. Like I was watching that going, Yeah.
For sure. His
is-
fights against Joe Weller, obviously that was complete amateur then. Then
Yeah.
it was, the Logan Paul was kind of like, I don't know what that was. It was just him just trying really hard, I think.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
now he's starting to improve. So it's why it's hard to like, people are doing these like, pound for pound lists and people are doing their ratings. It's hard to do that because we haven't seen enough people yet.
Yeah, but I will say about the way he finished him, like I was sat there thinking that might be, at least from one of the bigger guys. Like I think when you start looking at like Pulley, Waleed, Dean, like some of the smaller guys are like really good boxers.
Yeah.
But like from everybody like, let's say 165 and above, I'm like, that might be the most impressive combination I've actually seen.
Yeah.
So that's just like everyone's getting so much better. I mean, Deji's another one. as well.
Improved a lot.
Again, against what was it Fausti?
Fusey, yeah.
I'm like, who the hell is this?
Well, we were shocked as well, but it was a nice surprise for sure. 'Cause he's always had that potential, but now he's actually getting there.
He looked amazing. So yeah, everyone can level up so quickly. So
and that's with Daly as well, right? So I guess maybe for your fight with Kenny, they just did get the strategy wrong. It wasn't necessarily the
100.
teaching.
I
but
honestly think Daly was like, yeah, let's fight him. He's a bum. I honestly think that's what the.
But this is why I'm loving Misfits though, because you do get these people who come into the Misfits and then start surprising, and then next minute they're fighting more people, and it's sick to see that. And then I think like also people who do that, like Misfits appreciate that more as well, because they now start to see new characters and new names in the area. And like you beating Kenny now opens up so many more fights for them. So I'm sure they're really excited to
for sure
start placing new people.
Yeah, I guess the long term thing is that they want to create as many people that the fan base cares about as possible, right?
Yeah.
So it's on us as the fighters, I guess, to take the chance and to just go in there and have a good fight. Because I even found with the Anthony Taylor thing, it's like, yeah, cool, I might have lost, but I felt so much love from all of the fans in that arena after that fight.
Yeah.
And probably they just appreciated the fact that I just gave it a go.
Oh, for sure, man.
Do you know what
I mean, look
So-
at the Ginty versus Ham fight.
Yeah, that went down really badly because of that, right?
Yeah. Whereas after Ginty JMX fight, a lot of people rated Ginty for like, you went in there against JMX, who's massive, and you haven't really fought before.
Yeah.
So you're sick, and then you go in against Ham, who's a lot smaller than you, and don't throw a punch.
Yeah.
Suddenly, like people turn so quick.
Yeah.
Well, it's like watching a charity football match with like no goals. And it's like, well, the standard is so much lower now, but we have to see goals because of it. So it's like with Misfits, you want to see people fight. It's not the level of pro boxing where you have to like be very patient. It's like we want to see people swing. We want to see action.
Yeah.
Because especially obviously I know a lot of people in the crowd will know boxing, but a lot of them won't, and they're just there for entertainment, right? So it's nice to see that as well.
And even if you know boxing, there's still little things where like I think distance wise, like if you watch pro boxing, they're like always in like distance of each other.
Yeah.
If you watch us on Misfits, we spend a lot of time out of range. Well, we're like a little bit worried to get hit, and everyone's trying to get a breather. And I think that's what you saw with Ginty and Hallow Ham. It was like the amount of effort it was taking Hallow Ham to get on your inside.
Yeah.
I was just tired.
Well, that's what Ginty was saying. Ginty was saying, well, like as a boxer, I was doing my job because I was keeping him at distance. I was sort of winning, but then I guess also I'm not being entertaining, but I'm doing what I need to do.
But do you consider yourself like when you're fighting at Misfits, right?
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself, because it's entertainment boxing, right?
Yep.
Do you consider the entertainment part or the boxing first?
The don't get hit. that's the number one part. But I think I don't know. It's a hard one for me to answer because I've only done it a few times, right? But I've genuinely had the time of my life.
Yeah.
So I haven't necessarily had to consciously think, "I'll make it entertaining." Like there are parts in the last fight where I think the commentary picked it up and they were like, "Oh, he's talking to somebody," because I think someone in the crowd went, "Kill him, Kenny," and I was like, "That's not very nice."
That's joking.
And then there was another bit, I think, in the fourth round where some people were chanting something, and they were chanting it like against me, and I was like, "I'm just gonna dance to it," and like, and that's just. I'm not necessarily thinking about it. It's just how I am.
Yeah,
I'm like, if someone's having a laugh or
Yeah.
whatever, I will just get involved in it because I just find it amusing. So I think for other people though, ultimately, you got to protect yourself. So I think that's probably the difference as well. If I've got somebody, maybe me doing those things in part. No, because actually, even against Anthony Taylor, I think there's a part where when we come out for second round, I'm like, bro, just chill out. Like, Yeah, I think personality-wise, I'm having fun. And I'm always gonna have fun through it. But maybe for other people, they'll be a bit more like, no, head in the game focus. Because my coach hates it. Like he's screaming at me, Ashley, can concentrate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's cool, man. It's all right.
But realistically, like, you're gonna get the best fights, as in you're gonna move up the ladder.
Yeah.
Even if you win, like Ginty's fight, even though he won, it's not gonna add much to him in terms of getting a better fight next time.
Yeah.
So you got to win and pull in a crowd. Even if you lose and pull in a crowd, you can now fight and earn way more. People will love you more.
People want to see it.
So,
That's at the end of the day, this whole thing is going to live and die on, do people want to see you fight?
Yeah.
That's ultimately what it comes down to. So whether you're going to be really entertaining in the press conference, whether the fight is going to be absolutely amazing, like it's got to be something, right? You've got to give people a reason to want to be there.
What weight did you fight at for that fight?
180.
Do you know what that is in kg?
81.6.
Wow.
Jesus Christ, bro.
to the percent.
I'm like 80 kg.
Really? I'll fight. Let's make it happen.
Bro, I'm watching it thinking like, oh, they're like at least 10 kg, 15 kg heavier than me.
Yeah, no, it was.
I'm getting fucking destroyed by that.
Yeah.
But that was like the lightest I've been since I was like at uni.
Mad.
To be honest.
Mad.
Yeah, so because against AT it was 185. And that was lighter than I'd normally walk around. And then obviously Kenny's quite lean, so it was 180.
Yeah.
And I was always going to say yes because obviously he's the A side, so I'll go wherever.
Yeah.
But then actually I found I felt way better there.
Okay,
I was
nice.
I actually felt better being
Wow, okay.
lighter, and actually probably getting down to like 175 is maybe where I would be most comfortable.
Mad.
So I have to lose weight. I don't have weight to lose.
Yeah, no, you got to do something.
I'm already a stick.
Where does Deji fight?
I don't actually know.
What weight?
Yeah.
Don't know. I can find out.
175
175.
for the Floyd fight.
Yeah, 175.
Mad.
Fight Deji.
Yeah, make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Another one from
You heard it
Watford.
here first.
His first fight, it was probably like
Oh, bro.
230.
Yeah. Probably my weight in his first fight. But you're saying that you know Salt Puppy is one of the names you would like to fight. You're saying that in the future, or you're saying next?
I would love for it to be next.
Yeah.
But I also know that I've got some building to carry on doing. Like at the end of the day, Salt Pappy has done so well that he's built himself up to like, I guess, a certain value.
Yeah.
And he's not going to want to fight if that value isn't matched.
Yeah.
And then to the people behind Misfits, like they have to be able to pay him that to get in there against someone that people want to see at that level as well. So then it's kind of my job to build myself up to that.
For
But at the same time, no one is saying I'll fight Salt Pappy.
Yeah, that's what makes me hopeful. Do you know what I mean?
So,
I'll be the guy. You know?
You saying I'll fight you.
Yeah.
True.
Like, I haven't seen anyone really call him out.
I love
So-
do you see the interview that JJ did with somebody? I can't remember who it was, where they were talking about, he was like, why are you not fighting Salt Pappy next? And he was like, oh, so my management think it's not a good idea. Da-da-da. And then we didn't answer the question.
Yeah, I've
he was
seen
like,
that.
and everyone in the comments was like, well, you haven't said anything. But I mean,
Well, wait, but didn't he say it's because he didn't want to train for another southpaw because Jake's orthodox and that's the ultimate goal?
yeah, I think he said that. Yeah.
And he said it will put off the Jake Paul fight. And the guy was like, oh, so you're not fighting until Jake Paul? And he was like, no, I am. And they went, let's fight Salt Pappy then.
No, but it makes
Like-
sense. People have been harsh because it's like training southpaws. Just everything's different.
Yeah.
The angles are different. It's like, and if you're gonna train for because Salt Pappy's a risk as well, by the way.
It is.
Like it's not
Well,
like
I think. I mean, we've all said that he beats JJ. we like as friends, we're all like, yeah. I think Salt Pappy sleeps you.
I think JJ could beat him.
You reckon?
I think there's a way to beat Salt Pappy.
Yeah.
And there's also a way to make sure you can get knocked out by him. But there's a way to beat him, and I think JJ can do it, and I think I can do it.
Yeah.
I think Tommy Fury could do it. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's a way to beat him.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd actually back JJ in that fight.
It's sick that how like he's done that like Salt Pappy, because obviously I guess you've got like JJ is like always the big name that everyone wants to fight,
Yeah.
and then obviously Jake is with that because they're gonna fight each other.
Yeah.
And then now you always see people go like, you know, Jake / JJ / Salt Pappy. So
Yeah.
It's sick that he's got up there because he's
Just
impressed.
from running
you know?
on the spot.
Yeah.
Literally, like,
Just running on the spot. Yeah.
Run to the spot, my lips, and then just
Yeah. But I think he seems like a very humble character, right? And I think originally it's because he didn't speak much English, so that he didn't really give much a reason like to hate him because he doesn't say anything.
Oh no, but he's a lovely dude, man.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, I love him. Boxing's such a funny thing. I'm like, I love you. Let's punch each other.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But yeah, I think Salt is definitely like in a really weird situation whereby the people at the top are kind of ducking him because they've got obviously mega fights with each other, and then to everybody else below, it's like they probably feel like they're just walking into a loss.
True. Yeah.
So he's found himself in a weird situation. I mean, well done to Josh Bruckner for taking the fight.
Yeah.
But
that's what I mean. Everyone thought this one would be like
a lot closer than it
like,
was.
oh, who could win this one? And then Salt Pappy just dances on him.
So patient, right? And then
but Josh was super hesitant, which I get it because obviously it's Salt Pappy, but you almost have to get past the fear of.
Not that, bro.
He's so funny, man.
Well, Gib did a announcement video.
He did.
Yes.
And there's basically like a tournament.
Yep.
So some of the people were announced.
Well, as you can see on Gib's thumbnail here, he has Jarvis, Zanetti, King Kenny, Gib himself, and then Jay. But I feel like Jay's not announced.
No, he's not. I think I saw something floating around saying that Jay's like not going to be part of it.
That's what I've heard as
like,
well.
He was planned to be, but he's pulled out.
Is that because he wants to do the rematch? Do you think with?
Maybe. What a fight that was.
Yeah, it was.
Lamau.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll do the rematch instead. And then there is also one other guy who's
my mate Nate. Oh, and
yes.
and Winderson.
Yeah. So both of them. So then there's still two more if Jay's not in it. But if you see this, who wins? Just the five, obviously.
Oh, of those five?
Yeah.
Gib.
Okay.
Comfortably.
I think people will sleep on Zanetti, you know.
Well, wasn't he just crazy? Isn't he just crazy?
Yeah.
I just the only reason why I say Gib is that it's kind of a game of how much can you learn, how quickly. Because Gib's been doing this now for what? Since the start, right? So it's about
and his dedication is ridiculous as well.
Yeah.
Good 3.5 years. He's obviously in shape and he's a good boxer and he keeps things tight.
Yeah.
Zanetti against Slim. Zanetti's a warrior.
I think Gib is the best there.
Yeah.
But Zanetti's just a weirdo that will
like he is hard.
I think Zanetti I think he could get knocked out unconscious and still fight somehow.
Just keep swinging. No, Zanetti's a bad man. I can't even lie.
Yeah.
But I think 5 years Gib's been going now. So and Gib, whilst he's strong, he's very compact. And if Zanetti swings wide, Gib's not going to get. He's not going to fill any of them. Slim kind of gave Zanetti opportunities to tag him. I don't think Slim would do the same thing.
Yeah.
My mate Nate versus Gib in the final for me.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen.
I haven't seen anything about this guy.
I've seen a few of his fights, and he's the best boxer in the tournament.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's like got the he fights in like a really English amateur style, up on his toes. He's quite tall, really long, and he's the best boxing technician by a long way, by a long way in that tournament.
That's gonna be exciting to see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, my mate Nate or Gib.
Yeah. Well, Gib was like when influence of boxing kind of like died down a little bit and no one was really doing anything. They were waiting for fights to be announced. He was still training as hard as he ever has been.
Yeah.
So he really dedicated himself to this. So it's nice to see Gib back in the ring anyway. It's been a while. Obviously, he wasn't joining Misfits.
Yeah.
Is this thing about Cal the Dragon having fights, is that real or not?
Bro, no. So you know,
because I saw it on TikTok as well.
I've seen that too.
Yeah.
You know Gio? So the guy whose TikTok you saw, he's the guy who edits for Logan now and True Jordan.
Yeah, okay.
He photoshopped it on Twitter.
Okay.
But then they linked it in the chat, right?
Yeah.
And it was like everyone unanimously decided to like lie.
Yeah, but I was part of that. I was thinking like, well, it's obviously not real. But then I saw it on TikTok and thought, so I've now heard it from like my mates and a random person on TikTok. There's no way.
So hold on. You were part of the lie.
Yeah, but I didn't know.
Then you ended up believing it anyway.
Well, it was one of those like, oh yeah, I'm not going to sit here and go, that's not real.
Yeah.
in case I can bait someone else. But at the same time, questioning, I think it is real.
That's what happens when you get someone who's really good at like editing and like Photoshop to make a poster, because that poster looked literally so sick.
Well, then he also did the thing of
the music video thing.
He's done like a music video where he's like, "I'm Cowder Dragon, I'm Cowder Dragon, I'm Cowder," and I was thinking, all right, he's making a song for his boxing debut.
Yeah.
Like it's all adding up.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he's going to do it. Maybe he's just going to shock everybody. And maybe he wasn't thinking of doing it, but all of this.
maybe he saw the poster and thought, wow, is my agent like, announced? I didn't know about this.
I'm telling you, Cal the Dragon, Luke Bennett.
Oh, bro. Well, Luke was bad, though. He was so bad. And obviously, I'm sure Cal would be bad as well, but like Luke was different level. Luke didn't look like he knew where he was. But in the Kingpyn, just to let you guys know watching the podcast, that's going to be, the draw is going to be announced on Monday. Yeah. And it's not going to be out till Wednesday, so we haven't seen the draw yet. So if you're wondering why we're not talking about that, that's why. But you're going for Gib or my mate Nate.
Yeah, if I had to put money on somebody, I'd probably put money on Gib. Yeah, that's where my money would be. But I think my mate Nate, if he's like, from what I saw of him physically, he didn't look in the best of shapes. He looks like somebody who boxed when they were younger and so like learned how to do it and has all the skill, but then just ate what they wanted through adulthood. So if he actually gets himself like fit and in shape, that could be interesting. But yeah, man, hopefully Gib wins and then I'll fight him afterwards.
So I don't get though, right? Because surely the first night is going to be a madness. There's however many fights, 4 fights. Then the next show is going to be 2 fights.
Are they going to do undercards?
No, so everybody fights 3 times. So the losers fight. So if it was me versus you and you won, you go on to fight in the semi-final. But then I would then fight the other, like another loser from that round. So,
but you can't then go on to win.
So I can't go on to win, yeah. So the losers keep fighting each other and the winners keep fighting each other.
Okay.
So you'll also find out who's the worst in the tournament as well. Like.
Poor soul's someone's gonna pull out their 3rd fight. They're gonna like lose the first 2 and be like, look,
Yeah.
Well, there was also there was a video of Jake Paul that came out yesterday. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather.
Well, yeah.
I do feel bad for Jake Paul in it.
So do I. Well, I saw JJ's tweet
by like 25 people and is expected to stand there and fight.
Yeah.
I woke up, saw JJ's tweet, like clowning him, and I was like, oh, this is funny. Then I watched the video again. I'm like, yeah, to be fair, like, it's like 30 man just like rushing to him. But it's just the way he runs. He just cartoon sprints away.
So when I was younger, right, and I was like a little bit of a little shit.
Yeah.
And sometimes I might get myself in situations that weren't good. And I'm like, one of the lessons that I'd learned is you walk towards a corner.
Yeah.
Turn the corner and then run.
Okay,
So no one sees you running away. You disappear. The problem Jake's got here is it was just a straight line run on camera. But yeah, I mean, what's he supposed to do?
Of course, yeah.
So
they will jump him as well. I swear, like they will do it. They did it before.
Well, they already did, yeah.
Yeah, there's a time. Yeah, but that is obviously warranted, you know.
Yeah.
But
so if I was to steal your hat now,
no, but
the repercussion if I get jumped.
I'll let you do it, man. I'll let you do it. But I think because they were so compact, like so close, it's very easy for like a reaction to happen. But this is obviously way more spread out.
You know that Floyd is like he bases so much on like how people perceive him.
Yeah.
So if I clown him, he has to get me back. Like if you clown Randolph, he's used to being clowned.
Yeah,
like,
true.
I just feel like, bro, you are 50-0, a gazillionaire, arguably the greatest boxer to ever live. And at that point in time, a YouTuber who'd been on Disney Channel stole your hat and ran away. Like,
yeah, but you're a normal person.
Like, it's not that
Floyd
deep.
Floyd ain't like that. Floyd is...
And maybe it's that disrespect that made him such a good fighter, like that element.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I woke up and my honest feeling after seeing the video was Jake needs to go on holiday. I was like, it's been a really tough couple of weeks. He needs to just like disappear and just chill out, man.
But where did this come? What did he do?
Like, where were they, you mean?
No, why did he
I think
try
he
and
was shouting at him, no? I think he was shouting at Floyd, like...
Well, in Jake's video, Jake was like alluding to the hat thing. So Jake did a video and posted it on Twitter as well, and he was just like, "Look, I stole your hat like X amount, like a couple of years ago. Like, let it go. Like, you need to like."
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know why he must have done something on the night to make Floyd come up to him. And
I don't know if he did.
That's just so weird, though.
I feel like America's so different as well. By the way, like everyone just is always at the same place. I'm saying, like, everyone was always together. Like, why? Where were they?
Miami Heat basketball game.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate, but I just think that maybe for Floyd, he just made an on-site thing, and it just might be whenever he sees one of the Paul brothers, there's just always going to be some antagonization. I also feel sorry for the security guard when Floyd's in his face and he's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm just trying to do my job."
And you know as well, like, I have to get in the way here. But at the same time, Floyd's got 20 people.
Yeah.
But I have to protect Jake.
Yeah.
I chose the wrong side.
He's probably really happy when Jake ran away. But yeah, bless him.
Also, Jake was talking about the whole the wet dream stuff. You see that?
No.
He was like, the reason I lost against Tommy is because I had a wet dream the night before. And I'm like, why would you? Why?
No, he's taking the piss, isn't he?
No, he's like, I built up my testosterone.
No.
He was like, I built up my testosterone for like the 2 weeks before the fight, and then on the night I thought I had a wet dream. I'm like, why would you just don't say that? Just lie.
What?
Just don't. Sometimes you can be too honest.
Yeah, I mean, I went into monk mode before.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people do that, right?
Before the Anthony Taylor fight, but it didn't cause me to have wet dreams.
Maybe he just did it too long.
Look at that headline, man. I'd never want to have that headline.
Jake Paul.
That makes it sound like he's had a wet dream about Tommy.
I just couldn't hit him. I felt so passionately about it.
The dream I had the night before, we were more than fighters.
It's too long. I actually thought Jake was he spoke really well after the fight. On the night, I thought he said the right things. And then I guess like the more he speaks about it, the more he feels like he should have done better. So he starts saying more excuses. But
Yeah, he should have.
Yeah, he should have done better. Yeah.
I mean, they both should have it. It was actually really... I was confused watching it because I'm like, for Tommy, I was expecting him to like outclass Jake. Like I was expecting us to be like to watch the fight and just assume like they just shouldn't even be in the ring together.
Yeah.
So it was like, but I don't know if it's because Jake did well or because Tommy just kind of underperformed.
Yeah, well, Tommy definitely looked a better fighter, but you're thinking it could have been more, right?
I was expecting there to be a massive golfing class. You know what I mean? Like for it to be like one person in boxing since they were sick. It's from an amazing boxing family and has all of that lineage and tutelage. Easy for me to say. And then the other person is obviously Jake, who granted has dedicated himself to it for the past 3 to 4 years, but it's 3 to 4 versus like 20.
For sure.
And then from Jake's perspective, I didn't see him try and set anything up other than the overhand right. And again, to me, I'm like a bit like Kenny. I'm like, what's plan B if you're not landing that punch? What else are you trying to do? So I think Jake will be really disappointed with himself watching it back because I think he will know in his heart of hearts, I could have done more.
That's probably why he really wants the rematch, right?
He really wants 100%. Because I think we've like anyone who's had a fight and lost, like I guess if you just get knocked out by the better person, then you can probably live with it because you're like, actually, this person is just they're just too good.
Close, like
Josh Brookner is probably thinking, do you know what? Salt Pappy was just too good. It is what it is. I can deal with that. But I'm sure for Jake, he's probably like, there's so much more that I could have done that I didn't. So it's probably burning them up a little bit.
This is so weird, by the way. Logan said, Mum said Jake had a wet dream the night before his fight.
Wow.
Why does his mum know?
Wow. I would have assumed Jake doesn't live at home anymore.
So he's phone, Mum,
no way.
Mum, I'm gonna lose. I just cummed over Tommy.
Look, and then Logan said, I sparked up and said, no fucking way. I had a wet dream the day of the KSI fight.
What is going on? What is going on? Wow, that's an open household.
I feel like people on podcasts are getting way too detailed, man. Like, keep these things at home, man.
I'm sorry, I don't have a wet dream story for you.
Maybe Kenny had one.
Maybe. Explains it all. Well, I guess maybe like one of the things I wanted to actually write the box, and everyone keeps doing these pound for pound top 5 lists, and Kenny actually put you quite low on his, right? Yeah. So I was saying, do you have your own? Do you have your own updated one?
My own pound for pound top 5 would be Jake Paul. I'm putting Tommy and Idris Virgo into their pros.
Yeah.
So Jake, KSI, Salt Pappy, Slim. I don't know who number 5 is because it could be, as I said, Gibbs impressed me.
Yeah.
Waleed Sharks impressed me so much.
Yeah.
Until Dean hit him with a
punch. That fight was unreal, man.
Like,
so good.
So then I'm like, that's super impressive from Dean.
Yeah.
But
not yourself.
Pardon?
You?
I feel like I don't deserve that spot yet.
You know inside you're there. But you want to show people.
I need to show everyone what I can do first.
This made me laugh so much. It's such an old picture from me as well. Like, I don't know where they got it from. But yeah, if we weren't on camera, then maybe I would turn around and say, I put myself there. But I'm also like, I got to go and prove that. I've got to go and beat some more people, and I've got to prove that. But I think the 5th slot is up for grabs, to be honest. I don't think it's... I mean, it might be fair to say whoever wins this Kingpyn tournament...
Yeah, gets there.
Maybe goes in there, because whoever wins that is going to have had 3 credible wins within a 5-month period or something. So... yeah, whoever wins the Kingpyn tournament would be a good shout for 5.
Yeah.
Until I beat Salt Pappy, and then I go to 5.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, no, you go to number 3.
Then I go to number 3.
Because you put him number 3.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I found that weird when Salt Pappy did his, and he was like, yeah, I'll put KSI number 1, put myself number 2, but I'd still beat KSI. And I was like...
Therefore...
Because you know what, I think it's an appreciation of what you've done.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's not just based on like potential, because I do honestly think I have the potential to beat anybody, but that means nothing until you've actually done it.
Yeah, but he's saying like I'd beat him right now. Like, do you think you'd beat Salt Pappy if you fought in 3 days?
Yes.
So you should be above him in your list.
No, because I haven't done it. I haven't knocked out Josh Bruckner. So
true.
Do you know what I mean? So all I'm going on at the moment is like my head and my ego.
True,
but
it's also your list.
It is my list, but I want it to be a good list. So like objectively speaking, like you kind of have to do the work, and you've got not that you have to, it's, as you said, it's just a list, right? There's no rules to it. But in my head, I feel like it should be based on something. So like I feel like Slim is underrated by a load of people. Yeah. And just thinking the way that he's gone up the weights, and he's just fought people that weight-wise, Slim should be fighting Tom Zanetti. Tom Zanetti probably walks around like 20 pounds heavier than him. And he still went in there, did it. And it's not like he outboxed him and stood on the outside. Like he went toe-to-toe with him.
Yeah.
So Slim, for me, should be a lot higher in a lot of people's estimations.
Yeah.
Do any of the other Rak Su guys box?
Not yet, but I'm trying to like...
I was going to say, little Rak Su tag team.
That'd be sick.
Someone told me that apparently one of the boys from JLS tweeted they wanted to get involved. And I was like,
there's your tag team right there.
It's been real, man.
I'm like, this could be so funny, man. I was like, yeah, we'll do it. Do you remember like the chess boxing thing?
Yeah, Ludwig. Yeah.
I'm thinking like we could do like a boxing concert.
Yeah. Like one song, one round. One song, one round.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? It could be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Miles is actually just like quite an aggressive person anyway. Like he's, of all of us in the group, if there was one person who's he's the only person who's had fights as an adult. Like just...
Boxing
outside.
Or just fights?
Just outside, yeah. Like nice. Miles will just have a scrap. Like, nice. So he was probably the most the most obvious candidate for it.
Yeah.
But just the whole like getting fit and doing loads of running thing is the issue.
Yeah.
But if he does it, I think he'd be a problem for a lot of people. Like,
sick.
Yeah, maybe Miles Rak Su versus Ginty in 2024 cards. And then Jamal is like, I call him an ant, because he's freakishly strong for how light he is. Like, and super
small.
And is super athletic. But the idea of getting punched doesn't appeal to him whatsoever.
I mean, it's certain people in it. Like, neither of us want to be punched in any way.
Yeah,
we're not going to go in a. Some people have it, some people don't.
It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Unless they're horsehair gloves, that's not fun. Yeah.
Well, talking of Rak Su.
Yes.
For anyone who doesn't know, can you explain who Rak Su are?
Who Rak Su are? Rak Su are, we are a group of friends from Watford. What a great place to live. Go on, Hertfordshire. And we won the X Factor in 2017.
Come on.
And so, yeah, we are musicians.
Do you watch X Factor still?
It stopped.
Has it?
I was going to say, I've not heard about it.
I haven't watched it in like, I'd say 3 years. Like I watched this series.
Yeah. Why did you watch that series?
I probably watched like 2016, 2017.
Okay.
And then I remember this audition.
Yeah. It feels so weird watching it back.
Can I ask a question about this audition, right?
Yep.
And obviously, I know you probably, since winning it, there's probably a lot of, dealings with the Simon Cowell, etc. But can I ask a question? Like, when he goes, like, oh, stop. So you were singing Senorita, right? Justin Timberlake. And he's like, oh, stop singing this.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Sing something else.
Yeah.
Does he plan that before you do it?
Are you allowed to say?
Okay, so, yeah, I'll give you the full disclosure.
Yeah.
So, backstory is, right, me and Miles have been like brothers since we're scale of 1 to 10. How much detail do you want?
As much as you can.
Yeah,
I
whatever
guess.
you want to give.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So-
I don't know what you.
Okay, so the backstory of the whole thing, I'm going to speak quite quickly because it could be quite long. Is me and
No
Miles
worries.
have been like brothers since we were like 11 years old. As in like tight like this. His first job is with my mum. Played the same football team, like just best friends. He went to school with Mustafa from like year 7 to 11. Jamal moved here from Barbados when he was 14 and he went to their school. Mus was the first person he met on the first day. So we're all like really close from really young. Start making music. Me and Miles are in a little grime crew together. It doesn't go anywhere. I make music my whole life. Eventually, when we get back from university, I'm like, Jamal, oh my God, you're a great singer. Show me some stuff that you've made. He's like, I've never gone to the studio. I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to the studio because you're really, really good.
Yeah.
So we start making music and me and Jamal are like, cool, let's call this thing like a name and let's make it something. So we started calling ourselves Tracks versus Suits.
Yeah.
At that point in time, we're like, that's really long. No one can remember it. We'll shorten the track to Rak and we'll shorten the Suits to Sue. So we got Rak Su. Miles and Mustafa are still our really good friends. So every time we go to the studio and we want to get an opinion, they always come with us. Every time we got a gig somewhere, it's like, oh, you guys should come as well.
Yeah.
Eventually we get a gig on the beach in Brighton in front of loads of people. Loads of people, like 100 people. Me and Jamal are like, oh my God, this is so exciting, but we're really boring. Mus, can you get involved because you can dance and you can beatbox? Mus gets involved going forward. He's part of the group. One day we're in South London after a gig. It's about 2 a.m. Miles has come down to see us. We're having an argument and he's like, can you guys shut up? I'm like, you're always here. You still make music. Why are you not in the group, you prick? Anyway, so then Miles joins, so now he's in the group.
Yeah.
So we keep on making music. We do absolutely every single open mic that we can do around London and we're just trying to be as busy as possible. We're moving forward. We've done 2 little events by ourselves that we've set up and kind of the ball is rolling. We've had a couple of BBC introducing plays. We've just started to get paid. At this point, we do a show, someone slates us, tells us we're all terrible, says like basically her feedback was Jamal's okay, he can sing, do it by himself, but I don't know how far he get. Ashley can rap, but there's a million other rappers like him in London. Miles looks at the floor, Mus doesn't even vocalise, why is he there? Just after that, we then got super competitive and we're like, we've got to be the best people everywhere we go.
Yeah.
We did one show, then we got scouted by the X Factor. We got scouted by the X Factor. None of us really watched the show. We all listened to hip hop, R&B, Afro, etc. So we're like, pop X Factor doesn't make a lot of sense. Don't really want to do this show. Eventually, they keep on talking to us and they're like, you should come and do it. And we're like, okay. So then we made a list and we were like, if we can accomplish all of these things by the time it gets to the first audition, we won't go on there because we can make our dreams happen without the X Factor. Lo and behold, 3 months goes by, we haven't done those things. So we're like, we should go and do it.
Yeah.
But we went and had a meeting with them. And we said, we'll only do it on one condition.
Yeah.
And that condition was you have to let us do our own songs.
Okay, sick.
Okay.
Because as opposed to a group that you guys have put together, we've done all of this stuff already and we've already kind of established ourselves. So we're not prepared to go on TV trying to sing somebody else's song, look like idiots, and then just have everything die away. So we're like, we're only coming on the show if you let us do our own songs.
Yeah.
They're like, fine, great. Do the first behind closed door audition, get through that. Second behind closed door audition, get through that. They're like, cool, now go to Manchester, this is the live one.
Yeah.
When we did the second closed door audition, they were like, can you prepare some covers just in case Simon wants to see something else? We're like, no, we'll just do another one of our songs.
Yeah.
And they're like, please prepare some covers. We're like, we're just going to do our own thing. The day before we're driving up there, they call us again and they say, please just prepare some covers just in case. Like, we really want you boys to get through. We're like, okay. So we're in the car and we're driving up and we throw 2 covers together. One's a Justin Bieber one and one is Senorita. And we're literally just doing this in the car, spend about 20 minutes on it, and then we keep it moving. Because at this point in time, we're like, we don't think we care that much about the X Factor, and also we're quite cocky as well. And we're like, we're good, you know, this is what we do, this is all going to be fine.
Yeah.
So we get there, we have the day there, we have a wonderful time, we meet loads of people, we're surrounded by girls, it's just great. We get called into our audition and we go in there, introduce ourselves, we're on cloud 9. The reality is, the first song that we did when we were in there was I'm Feeling You.
Okay.
So we do I'm Feeling You,
Yeah.
we get about halfway through it and Simon stops it.
Yeah.
And we're like, shit. So
But he looks so scary when he, on TV when you're watching when he does all this stuff. I'm like, oh my God, what's he gonna say?
yeah, we're like
That's the point, right?
our inner like view of ourselves has just been shattered here. And we're like, what are we meant to do here? Means like, if you've got anything else, they ask us to do a cover. We do a cover, it's obviously crap. Stops that, asks us to do another one.
Yeah.
We do another cover, it's obviously crap. And then he's like, can you do the first song again? And we do the first song again, and then they put us through.
Yeah, okay, got you.
So what you see there is they cut out the first time we do I'm Feeling You. They cut out the first cover. They put in him stopping us. And so you get our real reaction to when he stopped us doing I'm Feeling You, but just put into a different spot. And then you obviously get us doing I'm Feeling You. Yeah, so it's like it all happened. Everything that you're seeing is real.
Different orders.
But there's just things that are removed from it that remove some of the context. And after we won the show, I said to him, I was like, he said, I knew you guys were going to win from the first time I saw you.
Mad.
And I was like, well, if you knew that, why did you stop us? And he was like, because if I just put you through, there's a limit to how much airtime we can actually give you. Like we have to make it interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's why like these reality shows, you know, like the Kardashians ones as well. The reason they are so highly edited like that is because that's what viewers want to see, right? Yeah. Not all viewers, but that's the viewers who watch that show want to see that. So even watching this interview there, when he's like, oh, stop doing this, but I want to hear you do your own thing. Like, viewers are like, oh my God, look at this, you know? So it helps the show for sure. Yeah. And they probably knew that. When they asked you to do the covers, they were probably doing that on purpose.
They were preparing for it, but obviously
they can't tell you that though.
And this is it, right? It's like, even though they know what's going on, you haven't got a clue. So from maybe in hindsight, we could have seen it coming, but we were so like flippant about it, but we just weren't processing it. So over time, we're just like, oh my, like we're genuinely shocked and like, what are we meant to do now? Because we know these covers are crap. Like,
true.
Was everybody in this room watching you do the cover? No, they're watching.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because obviously you didn't expect them to stop your song to then go onto a cover to come back to it. Yeah. But everyone in here's seen your whole time. Like they've seen you like have to perform your song, etc., then your song again. Yep. So maybe they were expecting it a little bit like, okay, if they ask me to stop my original song, they'll ask me to do it again at the end and then say yes.
Maybe. But I think obviously the thing that probably made us special, well, not probably, the thing that did make us special was that we did do our own music. Typically, it's a show full of covers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. The reason I lost interest was because I couldn't be bothered with people singing covers. Yeah. Because I was like, if you go on and you can sing an Adele song really well, it doesn't matter. I would rather listen to Adele. I want to hear people, because there was a show called Must Be the Music. I think it was called. I think it was on Sky One, and it's literally X Factor, but you have to do your own stuff.
When did that come out? Like before or after? Like
it was way after X Factor.
Okay, cool.
But it was still a little while ago.
Yeah.
But when's that?
It's probably like 2001 or something. 2010.
Okay. So X Factor's still been going for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I thought. Like when you guys obviously did your own song, it was like, okay, these guys are good because they're doing their own song. Yeah,
and ours was just like a almost like a bit of a fear element where, because we didn't know how it was going to go, because we are like one singer, two rappers, a beatboxer and a dancer. So obviously when it's like, oh, you should come do the X Factor, we're like, we do not fit. Like Ollie Murs, Little Mix, JLS, One Direction. And then us, it's like, how is this going to work? So we were just quite conscious of, this might not go to plan, it might not go very far. So let's just make sure if we get 30 seconds on ITV at 8 PM on a Saturday, let's at least make that 30 seconds like a song that's ours, so that we can like use it to our advantage. So we actually thought about it in a really like protect ourselves, because this might not go very well type way. But it just ended up going way better than we thought it would. Yeah,
and how was the rest of the experience beyond the obviously at first audition?
Oh, it was so fun. Yeah, like super intense.
Yeah.
Super intense. A whirlwind. Not much sleep, but just it just changed our lives, man. To be honest, like we're all working in. Jam was a neurophysiologist in Watford General. Wow. Miles is working as a recruitment consultant for nursing. I was working in recruitment for finance, and Mus was working in a hotel. And 5 years on from that, I'm sitting in front of you having a conversation about a Misfits boxing fight with King Kenny. Do you know what I mean? So it just changed everything. It was amazing.
Yeah,
How-
but sorry, go on.
you-
I was gonna say, it's always that belief in yourself though. Like you can pivot and do different things, right? As long as you think that you can do whatever the best of your ability, you'll get
Yeah.
into different avenues. You know.
Yeah, it's something I've said to people a lot. I don't, at least this is me personally, I don't feel like I'm particularly talented at anything. I don't think I've got a lane and nothing's really come to me easily. But the benefit of that is that it's also made me believe that I can do anything, just everything's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
Whereas I
Yeah.
think sometimes if things come easily to people, it can almost limit them because it's like, well, I'm good at this,
No,
so
I
why
agree,
would
I
I try
agree.
that?
Yeah.
Whereas I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
everything's going to be an equal amount of effort, so anything can happen.
Yeah, but that in itself is a talent, right? That's like, it's like JJ. He always says that. He's always like, "Oh, I'm not really talented," but then he goes and does all these things. I'm like, "Well, that
He's like, I
is a
just
talent."
work hard on everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
He's like, I'm
the
not good at-
ambition.
he goes, I'm not good at music. I just worked hard on it. I'm not good at boxing. I just worked hard at it.
That's
I'm not good at
hilarious. That
YouTube,
is
I just-
exactly how I feel.
Yeah, but that's talent, man.
Maybe
That's like
we
really
are
is.
long
you
lost
know?
brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's just honestly how I feel about things, and
Yeah.
I say it to everybody. Like at the end of the day, okay, maybe you will never be able to get to the top 0.5% of something. Like if I really wanted to be an equestrian, I might not get Olympic gold, but I can get good at it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Like-
for sure. Yeah.
So how has like boxing affected Rak Su in terms of like it takes up a lot of your time, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, the boys need to be patient with me. I did feel like in this last fight, like I had to win to make it worth like
So much time.
all the time out of the studio, because it basically became a thing of just like I'd have to say to the boys, I can't do anything before 3:00 basically every day, because the mornings and early afternoon is going to be taken up by me training. So anything I do is realistic. I'm going to start at 3, and I don't really want to go on too late either because I need to get up in the morning and need to train. So it's been a little bit difficult from that perspective, but then I also hope that it will be useful going forwards, because nights like the weekend, there's loads of people just saying the word Rak Su over and over.
Yeah.
Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
for sure.
So, yeah, hopefully it will pay off in the long run. And more than just being a group, as I said, me and the boys are like brothers, so I know they're
Yeah,
really,
sick.
really happy for me. And there's been other things like where Miles went, I'm on a celebrity, get me out of here,
Yeah.
where he's in Australia for 6 weeks. And like,
Yeah, you gotta say you owe me one, man. Like,
so yeah, people like everyone, and Jamal was part of Young Philly's NBA like program thing that they did, and they end up going to America as well. So everyone's like done their own little things, and it's like we just support each other through it.
yeah, yeah. And I saw you say as well that your ring walk was your little brother's music, right?
Yeah, man, that was a really cool moment. So my little brother, acting's kind of always been his thing, and he's in a group with like 2 other people, and they're called Froze Mode. And
A music group or an
music group, yeah. Although one of the other boys is an actor, and they met at Brit School.
Oh man.
But they have just released like their second song, and like their first song was premiered on Radio 1. And
The music's good, man. I liked it a lot. It's like a new sound as well for like the current climate we're in right now.
Bro, it's like they are like I went and saw them last week, and I was like, damn, you're better than we were. And I just feel like Froze Mode are, my little brother is long dreads, dip dye blonde, gold teeth, like just cooler than I'll ever be. There's Will, who looks like Declan Rice and is from South London, skinhead, like, and just very, very punk. And then there's Lee Song, who is Chinese, long dyed red hair, and they just look like the most like unnatural group of friends ever. And then the music they make is some mix between punk and hip hop.
It's sick though,
with
man.
some drum and bass,
Yeah.
and it just bangs, man. It's just
music's so good.
sick, but really, really left the field. So
It looked like a PR campaign.
yeah.
We need to include everyone.
but like, do you know what? You're right. If you were to sit there and you were to like draw some stuff up and be like, we need to create this new group that appeals to everybody. So yeah, they came and they sat ringside. And they didn't know I was going to come out to their song either. So,
Oh really? That's sick, man.
so
That's
it
so
was just a really
sick.
cool moment.
Are you
That's
not
so sick.
tempted at your next fight to either have them or Rak Su like
Rak Su would be
walk
sick,
you
man.
out?
Rak Su would be sick. My issue was, right, obviously all of Rak Su's music is just so happy and stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah, true.
and I am a very happy person. I'm like, just right before I fight,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a different mood.
I don't know. So I'm like, we might have to just make something that hits.
How about you do the swarms effect, man? Like some Disstracks, you know?
Okay, so I've thought about this, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be ridiculous, but I just don't feel comfortable dissing people.
I know.
That's fair.
It gets serious, man. It does get serious.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know, but the thought of like sitting there and spending that energy on just like
Being nasty.
yeah, man.
I
don't know. It don't quite sit right. But if someone wrote on for me,
Yeah.
I think I'd be cool because it'll be okay. But it would have felt weird to, for example, do that to Kenny.
Yeah, for sure.
But then I'm kind of like, maybe I should just play the game and stop being.
Yeah, I mean, you could call it like, you could market it being like a diss track, but then it's not one.
Yeah.
You just have like one or two lines that's, you know, like about to beat Kenny. That's it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's only like one or two lines and you can then call it a diss track even though it's not.
Unless I flip it on his head. And do you remember, like, there was this video ages ago, I don't even remember where it was from, but where people were like really aggressively
Compliment. No, it was
Compliment battle.
Castellino.
Well, there was another one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Casper Lee did do it. But they do don't flop compliment battles as well.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe I'll do one of them. But
What was the other thing we were going to ask?
Well, I was going to ask in general, like with Kenny, like, you know how you said there's no bad blood between you.
Yeah.
Where do you think he goes from here? Obviously, I know he's got the
Kingpyn
Kingpyn,
tournament.
but then, you know, do you think this is going to knock his confidence for that tournament, or do you think it's going to actually help?
I think it's hurts a bit,
Yeah,
to be honest.
yeah.
Like, I think, look, obviously he might have been bluffing, but when we spoke, I said like numerous times, I was like, this is a miscalculation.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have got this wrong and you shouldn't have picked to fight me. And he seemed so sure and so confident that I was just not going to be able to deal with his jab, and he was going to be too skillful and too slick and all the rest of it, that I think it probably would have dented his confidence a little bit.
Yeah.
The benefit is he gets to jump straight back on the horse.
Yeah, true.
The
Guaranteed, confirmed fight.
Do you know what I mean? The downside is you don't know who it's against.
Yeah.
Because if he gets to jump straight back on the horse against Jarvis, I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
But if
Because
it's Gib.
do you know what I mean? Like, if he can have somebody where Jarvis is so much shorter, so much of a shorter reach, Kenny legitimately would be able to win that fight with just his jab. Like,
Yeah.
and he could just dance around the ring and just jab. He could make it a boring fight and he could just win it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that would be amazing. But yeah, if it is Gib, or if it is my mate Nate, who's actually taller and longer and has a better lead hand than Kenny, Kenny can still win that fight, but he would need to win it by fighting as opposed to boxing on the outside. That's going to be way more difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great name, by the way, from Nate, because I keep thinking you're saying your mate Nate.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I thought that as well. It's like, yeah, I think my mate Nate. Like,
this guy's like super popular.
I think my mate Kenny will do alright.
But yeah, but I'm hopeful for him. It would be amazing if he went into that tournament and then like won it. Do you know what I mean? Like how cool would that be? Like for him.
What were you saying to each other? You know, before the fight, before the winner was declared, what were you saying to each other? Because I know that him and his corner really thought they won, right? They were confident at the end of the.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Okay.
So he,
Well, yeah, because when they also say, I think the first judge scored it in favour of you,
yeah,
and you see his face. What? And I was like,
I've
it
seen
looked
some
like
funny memes. I've seen there's one on Twitter and it's like someone must have posted it on Snapchat because it's got like the Snapchat right across it.
Yeah.
And it's like bro thought he paid all of the judges because only won one.
oh no.
But immediately afterwards he said to me, do you want to go again? And I'm like, you don't say that if you think
True,
you've
actually,
won.
that's
Like
true.
that's some like
Yeah.
it means you kind of know you lost. And
He's like,
I
can I do 2 more rounds right now? Like, change it.
and I was just I think I was just saying thank you to him.
Yeah,
I was just
yeah.
saying like, look, beyond everything else, like thank you. I've got nothing but respect for you, like for even giving me the opportunity to have to take the fight. So yeah, so I'll always maintain that. Like I am grateful.
One thing I was going to ask about Kingpyn, am I being crazy here? Like, are we sure that it's definitely a draw? Do you think they've rigged it at all?
Oh, as in like the live draw.
Have they pre-planned who is it? Yeah, like, is it going to be a FA? Well, obviously it's out right now. The draw's already done. We haven't seen.
I mean,
it
it
yet.
depends how it was done. Like, if it is like, you know,
Champions League.
Champions
Well,
League.
but they
halls,
fake
like,
it anyway, man. They look at the name, right? But I mean, if I'm Kingpyn, right, I'm thinking we don't.
There is a
see.
lot more strategy behind choosing who fights who.
Yeah, I
to
wanna
get
see.
the
I
best.
don't think there is because who would you want in the final?
Well, Gib. Oh, sorry. I'm not saying obviously the final can't be rigged, but I'm saying the first kind of like when it goes into the.
Yeah, you can organise who, like,
But
if
why?
you want Kenny and Gib, to potentially meet in the final, you'd put them the other side.
But this is what I mean. I think we're looking at it from quite a Eurocentric view.
Yeah.
Because the biggest YouTube profile on that tournament
Is Nate.
and is it Nate or Winderson?
Oh, I don't know Winderson at all.
It's Winderson.
Nate's got 22 mil.
I think Winderson's got like 40.
True. We do that a lot.
No. That's followers.
No, but Winderson's got 40
Go on his YouTube.
40 million YouTube subscribers.
Yeah. I mean, even
I will
niche-
judge this though.
I
I will judge this because if it is a lot of shorts, I don't count it.
Bro,
No, I did look up this guy. Doesn't have as much pull.
okay.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, look at his. So he hasn't posted in quite a while. 2 weeks ago, 300k. Got up a sec. 2 weeks ago, 2 mil, 400k, 4 mil, and he's posting, like once a month, twice a month, 3 times, whatever.
Go on most viewed. Go on videos most viewed. Like, what's got the 40 mil though? I don't get. I know I'm in the space, but I don't get YouTube sometimes. There you go. Boom. 151 mil.
So he's a musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess the point.
So he has a pull. He does have a huge pull, but
So I guess the point I'm making is that the benefit of the way the Kingpyn have done this is it almost doesn't matter.
Yeah,
There's
of
so
course.
many big names that I
Yeah.
don't think you're going to be like who's the smallest person on there at the moment is maybe Tom Zanetti.
Yeah.
yeah. But he's again big in music, like in that area.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like it almost doesn't matter.
True.
Yeah.
But then if they paid someone this much money,
Yeah.
and then the person they paid the least goes and gets to the final, I guess that's good anyway, right?
But remember,
For them.
everyone's got to fight 3 times.
Yeah. So you can just see it on the same card.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
as in if they're like, Gib was our big expense here.
And you
Gibbs,
just get
he's the
battered.
massive, he's the one, and they put him as the hardest fight. I don't know who the hardest fight would be, but if you're saying Nate, that's first round. They're like, Gib now can't win the tournament. I know he's still fighting 3 times.
Yeah, but it won't have the same allure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe there is something.
Well, we've
behind
seen
it.
some
I don't know.
dodgy fight promotions in this YouTube space in the past. So you never know. You never know.
Let's hope everyone gets paid and then everything's all good.
Yeah. I was gonna say, always make sure you get paid first.
True.
Before the
Well,
fight.
that's what Deji and Gib did well, right? And shout out to Liam.
There was an American fight. I can't remember who it was.
Showstar.
It was a Showstar.
They're all a similar name.
No
aren't
one got paid except Gib and Deji because they got paid before,
they? Yeah.
and then no one else got paid.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch. There's been a couple of them in the UK as well, actually. But I guess that's kind of where Misfits, at least on the face of things anyway, seems to be so far ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
Is that from a business perspective, I can say that I've had no issues
For sure.
Yeah.
at all across the 2 fights. Everything is completely transparent, completely punctual. Like it's just
Yeah, I guess that's because
great.
like you can see obviously JJ's the face of Misfits.
Yeah,
and
he's got a lot to lose.
He's got a lot to. But then Austin McBroom. was
True,
the
but
face
then-
of
but
one,
then-
and that was the one people didn't get paid.
But then
I
also you
think.
see Misfits even signing with the Zone. That's a big step as well, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
the Zone
they
are a
can't.
big player in boxing out on their own.
The Zone can't not pay
well,
people,
even
yeah.
in sport,
think.
like period,
Yeah.
the zone are just
Mate, you go on the Zone to watch the Misfits, and there's about 12 different live events on.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
actually
yeah.
ridiculous.
So yeah, you're right. I'm sure the zone probably would want it conducted at a certain
Yeah,
level,
for
but they
sure.
wouldn't want to be affiliated if it wasn't. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Misfits is the number one space
Yeah, what's
for
that one?
sure.
Yeah. Oh, Social Gloves.
That's the one.
Not Showstar. My bad.
Yeah, we didn't mean that Showstar.
Sorry.
Allegedly.
That's the level of research you get on What's Good Podcast. I was going to ask, like, how did you guys like get to know each other? Because I know you knew of each other before, right? Before.
Well, we met once.
Yeah.
Wireless,
Yeah.
which
Been a
I
good
thought
impression,
it was
though.
a different one though.
Different wireless.
Not Wireless. I thought it was a different festival.
Oh, okay,
festival.
okay, yeah.
But I was saying I was very drunk that day, so I remember like somehow I never forget stuff when I'm drunk. But yeah, it was Wireless, and I think it was in like there's like this VIP village area type thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just running around having the time of my life. And
Walked
Well, as I
into
said as well, I'd watched that series.
Yeah, X Factor, yeah.
So I was
Yeah,
literally like,
yeah.
I walked in and I was like, oh, I know these guys.
yeah,
Like,
so I remember
so-
you spoke to Miles like at length.
Yeah.
I think I saw Ray and got distracted.
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, I guess the reason I asked is because I was wondering, do you watch any of the Sidemen content, or do you watch any of the?
You don't have to lie.
I'm not tricking you. I'm not tricking you.
Yeah, man. When I can, like, when I get some time, I haven't watched the recent one.
No, I don't really watch much YouTube stuff, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. If I'm, yeah, I'll just be honest because that's not lying.
But I don't watch Sidemen either.
We literally talk about it. He's like, I don't know.
Why do you not?
Well,
do you not like curious?
I watch the ones that I'm in.
You don't need to. You know them ones.
I like seeing myself on a big screen, man. No, but for
They're
context.
also the shit ones.
No. Hey. No, I do watch them sometimes, but it's just we film on Mondays usually, and it comes out Sunday, so I don't get enough time to.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
fair.
But the reason I'm saying is because this Sunday that is coming up.
Yeah.
But when they watch this, it's already come out.
Yeah.
There's been a big moment that they keep talking about on social media. So
Yeah.
JJ, Ethan.
Let me explain it to you.
Yeah.
So
You go.
I've seen.
The tweets.
I'm getting closer to the YouTube world.
Yeah, of course.
Via Misfits. It's
Yeah.
like I'm getting sucked in. I've watched probably about 5 videos in the space. I think I've watched like the videos where it's like try and identify who the black person is.
Yeah.
The beta squad one.
Yeah.
I've watched a couple of Nico's videos.
Yeah.
So I think I've watched more Beta Squad than Sidemen.
Fair.
Is that bad?
Fair.
I'm sorry.
Like, it's fair. They can't box though. They can't box.
But then you beat
Sidemen
up Kenny,
win
man.
boxing
So.
matches.
Yeah. Well, I was supposed to be. We did make a deal that I would end up in the Sideman video if I won, but I don't know if he could stick to that. But yeah, not Sideman. The Beta
Beta
Squad.
Squad,
yeah,
This
yeah.
is going terribly.
Well, basically, Beta Squad did a video month or two ago where they all put their hands on the table and they can't move, and then things are brought in trying to get them to move. You know, like a snake might get brought in, and you have to try and keep your hands there.
Yep.
So we've done that video, and spoiler alert: if anyone hasn't seen it, stop watching. Skip
Go
forward.
watch it. Go watch it for sure.
So everyone is doing it. I'm hosting it, and I've organised loads of things. Starts off really calm, gets worse and worse and worse.
Okay.
By the end of it, you know, there's snakes, there's a tarantula, there's a guy with like the worst smelling breath, and he comes in and burps in your face. Like we got a guy called what was his name? Captain Methane or something? Mr. Methane. He comes in, sits on the table, pulls his legs up, and just farts on them.
Where did you find these people?
Don't know. Online. But honestly, it's
Methane.
mad.
Oh.
He literally sits there and he goes like,
Search for that.
he starts going like this, and he's like, and it's mad.
Oh,
And
God.
he just farts on them, and it ends up with, again, spoiler, ends up with Ethan and Josh left.
Okay.
Everyone else is out. They finish all the tasks, and I'm like, shit, I didn't think everyone would last. So I'm like, you've both won. And JJ says, let me do a tiebreaker. We're like, all right, you can do what you want. So he jumps on the table, pulls his dick out, just pees on them. Only on their hands, bear in mind.
But they,
still,
but to be fair
and
to them,
just
they
to clear
take
up,
it, man.
They don't move.
They keep their hands.
Yeah. So they won. And yeah.
Well, but and then the whole thing for those watching right now, I'm not sure how much we can say of this. Is even right now, you don't know how much of that is going to be in the video.
Yeah, so
You're moving past this way too quick.
sorry, true. Well, for us, it's not a surprise because JJ pulls his dick out all the time. You know, well, he does.
he does. You're also moving past that really quick.
He peed
Yeah, he's talking to
On
a new
there.
level.
Ethan
Yeah.
and Josh.
On their hands, yeah. So it went on their sleeve.
But by the way, it was
Was he hydrated?
Yeah.
It was a long pee. It was a long pee, and the studio was also a little bit cold, so it was quite steamy. Yeah,
and also a lot of, it was pissing forever.
yeah.
On the clip I saw, I was chilling one day and just WhatsApp comes through, just him just pissing on someone.
It was the next day we got sent the footage, and it was just like, oh yeah, guys, look at our Sidemen shoot yesterday. Kind of mad.
Yeah.
How did they take? But were they comfortable?
Well,
They're very competitive, right?
they had lasted this whole thing, and they're like, oh, okay, you know what?
I'm the best.
We've come this far. There's a prize on the line. Like, we'll pay attention. The prize was a money prize, but we also added in, we have like this system that holds people accountable for doing more videos. And the prize was you also get a bonus of that. So like they won, so they don't have to do as many videos. They get to the end and they look at each other and they know as soon as JJ jumps on the table, they're like, he's going to pee on us. Because it's JJ. We know him very, very well. We knew. That's worrying. But they look at each other and go, are you going to stay?
Well,
And they go, yeah. And they go, I'm going to stay too.
yeah.
So they just stay there, keep looking at each other, laughing. And then JJ finishes up peeing. And they're like, yeah, you've won. That's it. There's nothing to it.
The tough part is when obviously you guys first started and used to film the videos, and the ones that I were in, it was just like, you know, you set the cameras up yourself. So it's you guys and then say me, right? And then he pulls his dick out, right? It's just us. So it's like it's just
and
friends,
one of us
right?
is going to edit it, or we have a guy to edit it.
Yeah.
But then now the Sidemen are getting bigger and bigger. They got staff, they've got camera people, you know, and it's not even
10 camera angles.
Yeah, so it's like you're not just doing it in front of the boys anymore. This is like now in front of.
Yeah.
Wow.
The issue is YouTube have a very strict policy on like age restrictions and stuff like that and advertising. So we've had to make it so it's very evident what he's doing, but you can't show anything. Like you can't show any liquid.
Only YouTube in Germany would accept that.
Probably.
So if you're wondering why the moment doesn't look as mad as everyone has made it out to be, it's because of YouTube.
And it's not even them trying to just get Side Plus subscriptions this time.
Yeah.
Like the Callux one probably was.
No, that was... What was that
Which
one?
sat in his face.
Yeah, you can't show that.
Yeah, of course.
Sexual acts.
Okay, yeah, got you. But you guys are very happy about Side Plus. This one,
yeah.
if you could, you wanted to show this.
100%.
You know?
So
And sure,
yeah.
it'll be somewhere, right? Will it be somewhere?
It'll be on Side Plus.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Bang in.
Yeah. But yeah, mad moment.
Yeah, I'm horrified.
Yeah. The worst part is so the hands are still on, and we had to clean up sometimes, and I was like, guys, you can take your hands off for 1 second, like just relax. And they're like, oh no, you're tricking us. And I was like, look, I've moved your hand off. You're not out.
Yeah.
Clear up. This one, they've got a hand just resting in what remains of his pee. And I'm like, well, you've both won.
Goodness gracious me. Wow.
And they both go, no, you're tricking us. You're trying to get one of us out. So JJ walks over, grabs both their moist hands and goes, you win, and lifts them both up at the same time. And
Was he touch his own piss as well?
Yeah, it's not as bad touching your own piss.
This is disgusting. This whole scenario is so nasty on so many levels. Wow.
Yeah. Well, we didn't want to bring it up, but because the video just came out, you know, we felt it was right to talk about it on this week's episode.
I like really want to watch it and really don't want to watch it at the same time.
Exactly.
Like I'm going to watch it now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I have to.
Yeah, you got to see it, man.
Well, the thing is as well, so Beta Squad did their video.
Yeah, but they had no piss in that one, man.
So we stole the video from them, and then
Yeah.
they had someone with bad breath come in, and we were like, yeah, add that in. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw them when we did the Sidemen roast, and I said to them like, yeah, we copied that video, we've done this, and JJ peed on them, and they were like, no, what? And they had just filmed their video, which is out this weekend as well, or the weekend that just went out. They do the same thing, but in a box.
Oh.
So they're stood in a box, and things are put in the box to get them
Yeah.
out instead of just their hands.
Oh.
How
They
what's
pissed into a box?
No.
Oh, okay.
But
okay,
I was like,
okay.
the timing is so
true,
weird.
True.
how competitive are things between the two groups?
Not very. We're all genuine like friends.
Yeah.
Like I love all of them.
But there's some professionalism rivalry,
Yeah.
right?
Obviously, we both want to do better than each other, but it's not to the point of, you know, they were in our video.
Yeah.
We're going to be in one of their videos.
There's a lot of
at some point.
cross-pollination.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
we're not. We could quite easily go, we're not going in your video. We're not going to push views to you, and they'll do the same back.
Yeah.
But we both want each other to succeed,
For
and
sure,
we
for
know that they started posting again every week last year, I think, or just before last year. That made us make such better videos.
It actually did. Because there's a
Like,
point
our
where there
videos
were
went up to another level.
there were a few YouTube groups popping up in the UK that from the YouTube space, but then they all stopped posting. So like for the Sidemen, it was kind of like, well, they came and then they like kind of failed. Whereas because the Beta Squad started again, it's actually like, okay, actually we have to continue.
It was too
improving
easy
ourselves.
at one point where no group carried on, and we thought, you know, we'll just do this video. It's like,
Yeah.
there's no competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Beta Squad started posting, and they post sick videos.
Keeps you on your toes.
And yeah, it's like if we start posting stinkers, why would you not watch Beta Squad over us?
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
So we have to keep our levels up, and their levels keep going up.
JJ had to get
So-
his dick up.
Yeah. Again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I did see a clip of them being in the desert, and him getting his dick out.
Yeah.
This is just a
It's just-
reoccurring
yeah,
theme.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Flatter his ass. Yeah.
Bro, yeah.
He's a weird guy. Anyways, moving away from penis. You had a song come out called Neymar.
Yes.
Are you a big into football fan? You're a big into football fan? Are you a big football fan?
Football's the first love.
Who do you support?
Manchester United.
Oh, okay. He's a
Well,
Man
don't
United
clap
fan.
that right now. Go wait for the next game first.
Do you know what? I was so happy that I beat King Kenny I was okay with a Liverpool loss. I was still on a high.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not bringing me down.
We were talking about Nico.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nico, obviously, Kenny's like one of his best friends.
Yeah.
He's a Man United fan.
Yeah.
And he went the day before to the game.
Yeah.
No,
Went
the day
to the
off.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he came to the fight, and it was his birthday.
Yeah, bad day.
Yeah.
Bad day.
Like, that is a horrible day.
I just feel like it's almost like the simulation's broken. Like, you're not meant to lose 7-0.
Yeah,
Like, 3-0 is a bad loss. 4 is getting ridiculous. 5
they gave
is
up, man. They gave up,
egregious.
man.
6
Yeah.
is
Yeah, for
ludicrous.
like a professional team.
Yeah, man.
Like, you're Manchester United. Like,
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah. Like even like a League 2 team, you'd be like, oh, that was embarrassing losing to
Yeah.
anyone 7-0, even if
Yeah.
it was City.
7-0?
Yeah.
7 like 6 goals in 1 half. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. Wow. I didn't even watch Match of the Day on Sunday.
Yeah.
I was just like, nope, I'm just ignoring football. Football doesn't exist,
Doesn't exist
for
anymore.
12
Yeah,
hours.
yeah. Shut it down.
Yeah.
Are the other boys football fans as well?
So Miles used to play football as well. He played non-league football, but he's not really a fan, so
Okay.
to speak. Like, Newcastle is his team because his granddad is from up there.
Okay.
But he's not like a passionate
Yeah.
Newcastle supporter.
Yeah.
Jamal is a basketball man. And Mus wasn't really into football either. So yeah, not really, to be
So there's
honest.
not any like competition between the group kind of thing.
There always was a me and Miles.
Okay.
Always a me and Miles. Like, it was always a case of like I'd play district football, then he played district football. I'd play county football. He ends up going England schoolboys, and then I'm playing at like this level of non-league. He goes to the league above, and then I go to the league above, and then even like when we did soccer aid with each other, and it's like we have always been like super competitive, like football wise.
What's the highest level you got to football wise?
Southern Prem.
Damn.
So yeah, it was like there was 1 year the team I was in, we got to the FA Cup second round, but I didn't get on the pitch.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was sad, man. But we played against on that run Bristol Rovers, and then got knocked out by Bradford.
Oh, wow.
Mad.
Yeah, so that was
So like good level.
yeah, man. Obviously, Bradford's a massive stadium as well, so it was nuts being up there. But yeah, that was like, I wish I got on, even if it was just for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's mad. Yeah. Football is. I got turned away at district, so I didn't even make it that far.
Who do you support?
I'm a Leeds fan. So
This video. Wait, no. Can we play? Can we please search Soccer Aid 2018 penalties? Not that I've ever watched this video before in my own time.
here we go.
He's like minute 4 minutes, 4 minutes 32 seconds.
Do you know where it was?
I think this is it.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Well done, Nick. That's unreal.
oh, oi! Okay.
You know, that reminds me of,
Shit yourself, though, didn't you? You absolutely bricked it.
that reminds me of Salah's goal in the United game.
Cheers, mate. Thank you for ruining one of my favourite moments.
That's a pen.
There's a pen.
Yeah, I like, as I saw it going towards the crossbar, I could just see my WhatsApp just going.
Slow
I'm
motion.
like, if I miss this, that is it. But yeah, football's the first love, man.
Is that the same year Chunks missed?
No, that was the year after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
I felt like Soccer Aid is slowly becoming more like they're getting the younger audience.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they still invite a lot of people back from shows that no one watch. Like,
Well, I think that's probably just like life changing, right? That's probably just like the younger people getting more and more bigger in terms of like the culture.
It's probably the people who select the teams as well, right? Because I guess if
true.
you're working on it, you're going to invite the people that to you are
for sure.
famous.
Yeah,
and if
man.
you are 50 years old and you watch Saturday night TV, then the most famous people to you are those people.
Yeah.
If you've got somebody on there who's 21 years old, then the most famous people to you are going to be...
Because that's what I mean. Like Chunks and Philly were like almost like a risk.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty certain Chunks had one of the biggest receptions.
Oh, yeah, it was
By a mile.
massive.
Yeah.
Same with JJ. Like when he started off in music, no one really like let him into the industry much. But then at some point, everyone switched, and that was probably because the staff are probably his fans. So they're probably like, this guy's big, man. Like bring him in.
The more time goes on, the more fans will be.
I think with JJ, you're doing him a bit of a disservice because his stuff has got a lot better.
No, it has. But there's times where like he was just they wouldn't even let him in the conversation, you know.
But I don't think the music was undeniable. Whereas now I think he's making undeniable music.
Yeah,
I
but that's
still
also
think,
because of the label help.
No, of course, but he's not the only person. Everybody gets that help,
Yeah,
right?
they do,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? But I
yeah.
think there's probably still a load of people that might, from the musical perspective, might look down their noses at KSI because they might still see him as, you're a YouTuber who's trying to do music.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like KSI's got himself to a point now where the standard of the music that he's making is so good that it's like, even if you don't like him, even if you don't respect where he's come from, it doesn't matter. It's just so good that now people hear it, they want to keep listening to it, so then you have to play it, and you don't really have a choice.
But there's still like the helping hand side of it, because like even when he was doing music which labels could deny, you still had like Jamie and P Money jumping on songs.
Yeah,
and,
well, that's what I'm saying. I always believed in him when he was first starting. I was like, he should deserve to be in the door, you know. But they wouldn't give it him. But then obviously now he is there. So
and I guess it's an industry like everything else, right? It's like, I suppose
business,
if I was to start making YouTube videos, if I did a video of you two, obviously it's going to be like, I've been let into the club and it's going to help. And music is, I guess, a similar thing. There's loads of people who are all friends of each other, known each other for ages, and if you're not part of that world, you kind of, it is very useful if someone can give you a bring in. Otherwise you will just be an outsider. But
and the music industry is a small world, right? Very small. When you get into it, it's like everyone knows everyone, you know.
Yeah, for sure. But I guess the same thing again, right? If I was like making YouTube videos and at first it was like, well, who are you, what are you doing? But if they were just bangers, eventually you'd be like,
you have to.
The stuff is just good. So
for sure.
When's your first song coming out?
Oh, I've been making music forever.
Okay.
But when's yours? Real song.
My diss track.
But that's not YouTube based. Or no jokes.
No, never.
You should do a real one. Josh should do a real one.
Yeah, but
Like you and Josh do a real one together.
What? Yeah, me and Randy have made some music together.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've made a few songs. We've probably made like 5 or 6 songs, 4 or 5 songs.
Yeah. It's probably the worst one to show.
With the ladies, I'm a tramp.
Well, no, it's
Every lyric is basically a Disney thing.
Why do you think Disney, man?
But to clear up, it's turned into a it's turned into like a normal rap song, but we've turned it into
Like puns.
puns. Yeah,
Yeah, this was on Helium.
the whole song's done on Helium.
I love the way you two live your life.
Hey, this is a sick music video. Look. Yeah. I had a diss track. We also had, what else did we had? We made one about a game.
Yeah,
The Dead by Daylight one.
Dead by Daylight. Yeah, that's a good one. That's with Talia as well.
Yeah.
That was a funny era, which I think was a Sidemen era. Was
diss
when
track.
the diss tracks
Yeah.
were flying around.
But
That-
again, you see how you said you don't want to put your energy into, dissing someone.
Yeah.
That went very south very quick. That was like, oh, Randy, you're ugly, you're a bitch.
Yeah.
To, I'm going to expose some really dark shit. We've been friends for a long time, so I know stuff and I'm going to put it on the
Yeah, man.
internet.
I remember watching when Deji did that video about me, and I was at his house, and I was like, oh, should I just do a diss track back with jokes? And he's like, yeah, why not, man? And then I guess I just went a bit too hard in it though.
Yeah.
Because you know how you said you don't want to insult someone.
Yeah.
I was like, well, growing up, 50 Cent was my favorite rapper. So I'm like, if you're gonna diss someone, you gotta do it properly. So I just
all the way.
I went really in, and then he went back on me and stuff. And then even your one, it gets personal, right? Yeah. Without meaning to. You're really good friends. And the next minute, hate on each other. It's like, oh god, this is gone.
Because you've got no choice really. It's like if once a game has started,
You have to up it every time.
Yeah.
And there's no rules.
Like,
You don't.
the JJ,
Yeah.
Harry and Ethan ones was it starts off JJ just being like, oh, Ethan, you're fat. Oh, I have more money than you. And then Ethan's like, all right, cool. I'm going to talk about you with this and this and this. And then JJ's like, cool. I'm going to expose this. And then it's like, cool. Now we're on drugs, abortions. And it's just gone this horrible level that we all go, right, are we still mates?
Yeah, but you are as well. That's the weird part.
We are,
you are
we're
mates.
still in a
but it's
group chat afterwards going like, yeah, that was Pete, Delete that.
It's good though. I'm glad that you guess all just took it on the chin. I suppose.
Yeah. That is the reason why they did so well, is because they were kind of they did get real.
Yeah,
not real,
yeah.
but it got dark,
Mm.
and then we had to stop it.
But I guarantee though, it would happen again. If one person got the ball rolling, then everyone's in.
100%. 100%. They go, you know what? I've been waiting for this.
How did it end? Now you've got so much more ammunition.
It actually ended really badly.
Yeah, it just ended with things that just were too far, and it started getting a bit is this even real anymore?
Or was there one person that was like, guys, enough is enough. This has got to stop. Or
I think so.
I think Harry did one, and then he released it and was kind of like, you know what, I do actually regret that.
Yeah.
So he privated it, and then everyone was like, yeah, well, let's leave it there. JJ was in America the whole time as well.
Yeah.
He was with like, I don't know if you know, like Rice Gum and that,
Yep.
and FaZe and all of them.
Yeah.
He was staying with them, and then he was coming back, and it was like, okay, well, he still lived with us at the time, but was on holiday in America, and it's like, how do we still have? How am I going to diss you, and then you live with me? It's a bit weird. So we were kind of like, okay, we do need to
Have a chat.
slow it down at some point. And yeah, there was no real ending. It just kind of faded out.
Okay.
But what a time for YouTube in terms
Yeah.
of... Bro, I reacted to a video
That is it, yeah.
and it got 10 more views.
Yeah.
And it's not even my video. I just
Yeah.
sat there and went, oh,
yeah.
done. Look, Deji reacted to mine. 10 mil views.
Yeah.
It was. I remember this era where it was just crazy.
Yeah, bro. Look, 13 mil views. Yeah, it was something.
Yeah.
it was something. It's weird. Like you wouldn't want to do that to your best mates, really.
But you know what? Obviously, that's what made it funnier.
Yeah.
Like that is what made it.
Yeah.
So everyone was like, surely it must be fake. And I was like, nah, it's not fake, man. Like somehow it's not fake.
Yeah.
You'd think it's all pre-planned, but you know.
Yeah, I think if we tried doing that in Rak Su, Miles would just start punching people.
You can
Oh,
put
well,
your
that
back.
was. That's why we were happy that JJ was away, because he literally heard Ethan's one
Yeah.
and went, "If I was there, I would have punched you in your face."
Oh man.
And we were like, "Okay, it's Disstracks. It's just fun still.
Yeah.
It's fun." And then like
Yeah.
a day later, JJ was like, "Yeah, no, I
Calm
just
down.
you diss me. It's fair. It's fun."
Yeah.
And then yeah,
Yeah.
thank God that's over.
Yeah. But like I say, if it was back, you'd be reacting.
Oh, 100%. I'd straight away, I'd hit someone up and be like, yo, write me something sick.
Yeah.
Because I remember I hit,
P-Money, right?
yeah, I had my lyrics that I wanted for the first like 4 lines.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to make music at all. So I messaged P-Money and was like, I've got this lyric. How do I put it into this? Like, help me, please. And he sends me back like a verse. I was like, no, bro, I didn't want that. And I was like, people are going to know this isn't me. like, this sounds sick. I just want to know, how do I put these lyrics into this?
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, okay, just do this. And he helped me out with the first like 2-3 lines. And
You
so,
should have
yeah.
just run with the P-Money verse, bro.
Nah, man, he's too good. Like, he was too good for, this is like my first song I've ever made
Yeah.
in my life. If I sit there and I sound like P-Money, everyone's going to go, right, where's this come from?
Bro, I mean, who knows? You could have had another career. You could have been where JJ is musically.
No. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, Harry's mum reacting to literally her hearing like Harry spends all his money on crack. Your mum gets fucked by sheep.
Look, you see her face. Just look at her face. You can see without even hearing the sound.
Yeah, no, it's just that her reaction to his lyrics were, your dad is a weirdo. He looks just like a pedo. Your mum gets fucked by sheep. Your sister fucks a crowbar.
Yeah.
Fam, it's really that deep, or something like that. And she's just been dragged in out of nowhere. It was
Yeah, I mean, the next time there's like a family dinner is awkward. When
Well, we
like-
actually did a podcast like the week after the Disstracks, and Harry and JJ are both there, and Harry's mum comes over and is like, Harry, do you want a drink or anything? And he's like, Mum, come here. Comes on the podcast, and JJ's just like, I'm sorry. Yeah. Look at her reaction. Dragged in out of nowhere.
Amazing.
Yeah. But anyways,
What?
have we got any more? When's your next song out?
Next song. So we're literally just planning things at the moment.
Okay.
We've got like a project which is done now. So we're just like going backwards and forwards with management as to when that stuff is going to start coming out.
Okay.
I am hoping May,
Sick.
I think, which would be cool because then we can just be consistent and like every probably like 8 weeks from the back, like up until the back end of the year over summer. So yeah, it'll be cool because it'll mean like a load of gigs, music coming out, hopefully a couple more fights as
Yeah,
well,
man.
Yeah.
and just everything rolling together at the same
Yeah.
time.
There might be a song on it as well that you could use for the walkout.
Yeah, make it an aggressive song, man.
Yeah, just put one on there, like a bonus track.
Yeah. do you want a feature on it? Or?
Yeah, bring it on, man. Bring it on.
He actually will.
I'll diss anyone. But I know you're probably talking in talks now with the boxing stuff. But do you know roughly when you think you'll be back on one of the cards? Because they're every month now, right? Misfits at least.
Yeah, I mean, the last conversation I had was within the next 2 to 3 cards.
Sick.
So
Okay.
what is this? New Orleans next, so it won't be that. There's London in May, and I think Nashville after that. So
Yeah.
I'm.
There's also a Berlin one. I think it might be after
Berlin's after that. Yeah. So I'm thinking London or Nashville.
Sick, man.
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah, either one will be great. Obviously, London will be amazing because I think it's going to be a big card. I think that's obviously
If it's in London, it's
KSI will be back on that as well.
Yeah.
But then Nashville would be dope because I've just not been to Nashville before,
Yeah,
and it'll
yeah.
be really cool to fight in America. Oh, yeah, there we go. And then Berlin, London, Ibiza,
June
Austin,
10th.
I
Cardiff.
feel like whenever they make the American ones, they try and make the whole card stacked as well because it doesn't normally have like, they won't have JJ on, for example.
Yeah.
So they make the whole card stacked.
The last
It's
Austin
gonna
one
be-
probably was one of my favorite cards still. You know, the one with
That was the
Waleed
Waleed
and
and
Dean
Dean,
fight.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was phenomenal.
great night. Yeah.
And even the Greg Hardy knockout of
Yeah.
Asim
Yeah.
Rahman, that was
The heavyweight.
Yeah.
yeah, that was scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, December the 16th, Cardiff.
Mm.
That,
Well, that's what everyone thinks he's going to be Jake
Yeah.
Paul, right?
yeah.
That's what they're saying. But now with him fighting Tommy again, who knows? Who knows?
Hopefully, if it still happens,
Yeah.
and then hopefully I can fight Salt Pappy.
Yeah. Come on.
the,
Come on.
Yeah, I want like everyone who's, you know how in like Misfits there is, I'd say Slim's fought a lot, right? Salt Pappy's fought a lot. Gib. I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like they're the ones who have fought. Anyone else I'm missing there? That's fought the most.
Jay's now fought quite a lot. Swingler.
He's only fought a couple times, right?
Twice
by
on
then he
Misfits,
will have
but
as
I
well.
think he's fought 4 times overall.
But anyone who's fought multiple times, like if you have a couple fights, I want to see all of the people who have fought loads on
Yeah.
that card. Like I want that card to be
Ultimate.
Just
Last
the
one of the
ultimate
year.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah, which look, if KSI Jake happens, I'm sure it will be. It'll probably be like the biggest boxing show of the year. Period.
Yeah.
Across
Yeah.
everything.
Definitely could be for sure. Jake and JJ, and then everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah, because KSI, the first one was I think top 5 of
Yeah.
the zone all time.
Mad.
Top
Yeah.
3 of the year. So if it's KSI versus Jake Paul with a stacked card, it probably will be the biggest boxing event of the year,
Yeah.
which is
It
nuts
is crazy to say that.
think about.
Yeah.
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 Well, yeah. So a couple fights this year, hopefully,
Yep, hopefully.
and some new music.
And some new music.
Well, I think we'll end it there.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having
Check
me.
them
man.
all
out in
good.
the description as well. And anything you want to plug?
I guess it's just keep an eye out for the Rak Su new music that comes out this spring. And yeah, besides that, I'm just going to be training, making more content on TikTok, on
Sick,
Insta, and yeah, just keeping things moving forward.
Well,
Bang
thank
it.
you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Enjoyed
having
it.
me,
And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I probably won't be in Nashville.
I might be in Nashville.
If
I
you're
might be
fighting in
Nashville.
London, I will 100% be there. If it's in Berlin, I'll go there.
Why not Nashville? What's wrong with Nashville?
It's just a bit far.
He's like, hate
innit?
America, man.
Yeah, America's just it ain't pretty.
I don't love it either.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.